Hello everyone, today's video is all about staff parties. So HMRC have just updated their manuals to include virtual events within annual parties when considering the exemption for benefits in kind. So I just thought I'd use this chance to remind ourselves what are the tax breaks around having annual parties, staff parties, and what you need to do and what you can't do. So let's go through the rules. So for a staff party or an annual function to qualify as a tax-free benefit for the employees, you must meet all of the following conditions if you're the employer. So it must be a recurring annual event, not a one-off. The total cost must not exceed £150 per head per year, and that £150 includes VAT, together with any extra costs such as paying for taxis or accommodation. The £150 is a limit, not an allowance. So that means if it costs £151 per head, it's not as if 150 is exempt and £1 is taxable. The whole thing is taxable. So bear that in mind. Don't exceed the 150 per person. The event must be primarily for entertaining staff. Now what you can do is invite partners of staff as well. So it doesn't have to be just for the staff. You could have some customers, some of the staff's partners, but primarily it's a staff do. The event must be open to all staff, so you can't just be exclusive. All staff in that particular location. So if you've got an office in London, an office in Leeds, you don't have to invite the London lot to your Leeds party, but everyone who's based in Leeds should come along to your Leeds party, or should be invited at least. The event is not just for directors, so it's not just a jolly for the directors to say let's use up our annual allowance of 150 quid plus the wives or the husbands, unless all of your staff are directors. So if you're you have no other employees and just directors, then yes, it's going to be an event solely for directors. The cost of the whole event is allowable as a tax deduction in the business, and you can claim back VAT. But the VAT input is restricted when you are also entertaining customers. So the VAT, if you did have customers there, as well as staff, you'd have to somehow apportion the cost between the two of them, so you can only claim back input VAT on the element that relates to the staff. Okay, so an employer may spend up to £150 per head. Okay, now this, obviously with the COVID pandemic, there aren't going to be as many office parties this year, if any. That's why HMRC have updated their guidance to say this includes a virtual party. So we'll let you have this tax-free allowance, 150 per head, if you have a virtual Zoom Christmas party. And that's only been the last couple of weeks they've actually updated their manuals for this. So a virtual party is defined as an annual function provided virtually using IT. Makes sense. So an example of this, a company holds an annual function virtually using IT. All employees are invited. A hamper of food or drink is provided to each employee remotely to enjoy during the party. That is nice. And the total cost is £100 per head. So in the HMRC guidance, they say yes, the whole cost of that is allowable because it's below the 150. So they're envisaging a lot of firms will actually do this, send out hampers to staff to partake online, having a Zoom party. So that is really good. Oh, one last thing. This £150 limit, it can be for any number of annual parties. Remember, it's got to be an annual event, but let's say you had a summer do regularly every year and a Christmas party, can be split between the two. So two parties costing no more than £75 each in the year. So you can split. It doesn't have to be a one-off. It doesn't have to be one annual do. It can be several annual dues, but that 150 is split amongst all of them. So that was just a brief overview of staff parties and the tax-free benefit in kind that applies thereon. If you like this video, please do subscribe here, and I will see you soon.